call your ex-boyfriend's new bitch and just be real petty? Hi, Katrina? Who's this? You don't know me. I stalk your Instagram. Anyway, my name's Jasmin. I'm a friend of Rashad's. Who? Oh, I see he didn't tell you about me. Oh, okay. Well, as I was looking at your Instagram, I see that you guys are doing really well. Looks like he's a really great man to you. Taking you on trips, buying you just because gifts, flowers for no reason. You're welcome, bitch. I'm sorry, what? I said, bitch, you're welcome.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jazzy. I came all the way from Miami just to kick it with y'all.
That ain't who I am. That ain't who God created me to be.
Bitch, I don't care.
I bet you think this, Mom. Oh, you raised such a fine young man. Bitch, I raised him.
How are you today?
Good. I'm really good. I'm good. Tired a little.
Bless your heart. Like, okay, so.
Yeah, bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Because you came all the way from Florida.
Miami. Yeah.
Bless your heart. That's far.
It is far.
So are you born and raised from Miami?
No, I'm actually born in Maryland. And right.
Get
I am. But listen, I didn't live there long enough for me to say, hey, I'm from Maryland.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's just like I was born there just so people don't try to be like, oh yeah, you're from Maryland. I'm like, nah. So I grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida, which is like an hour away from Miami, but I've been living in Miami for like 10 years now.
Wow.
I hate telling people that because it sounds so long.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
So how does this little girl from Maryland, but raised in West Palm Beach, go from this this little girl to this social media sensation?
You know what? It's crazy because I had a lot of free time when I was a kid. I have brothers and sisters and everyone's super animated. So and it's funny when I tell the story because it all started off when we would get allowances, $10 a week if we did our chores or whatever. And then with my money I would buy a disposable camera, or I'd save up and I'd buy a wig and I would pretend to be these different characters, and I would make my Barbies have these big personalities, and then I would change their voices, but I didn't really know much of it at that young age.
Yeah.
But I thank God my mom is very she never told us our ideas were stupid and stuff like that. So she encouraged us to be ourselves and to express ourselves, which is great. So so that's how that came about. Subconsciously, I was doing that already, and I didn't really know until I got older, that I do characters, and I've been doing it for a while.
So the big personalities, Barbies, wigs.
Yeah.
Apparently Nicki Minaj stole your whole stilo.
Right. But she's a rapper, and I can't rap. Well, actually, I can rap. I like to freestyle.
You're like a jack of all trades.
Thank you.
So that's another thing about you, because you are not only, a comic, you are an actress, you're a host, you're a personality.
Thank you.
in of itself. And I'm curious to know what inspired you. Who did you look up to growing up?
Man, you know what? Martin.
I see that.
I love Martin. I feel like I had these ideas and I didn't really think much of it because that's how I would play. And then once I saw Martin and I saw all these different characters, I felt oh wow, this is really cool. I was very inspired by Martin, Jerome, Shanae, Dragonfly Jones, and oh my gosh, the whole nine, Old Otis, everybody. I was so infatuated with Martin. I would just watch Martin all the time, And then of course, there's Eddie Murphy's, and then as I got older, the Dave Chappelle's and stuff like that. But Martin is pretty much where it really started from for me.
I could see that. Now that you say that, I can see it throughout a lot of your videos. Because speaking of characters, you do one of my favorite characters of all time. I'm not sure if you know this. My favorite character of all time
is?
I can never look at Leopard Print and Red Suckers the same again. She's my spirit animal, Toya Turnip. How did that come about?
You know what? Oh my gosh, people love Toya, and it's so crazy because people just love that ratchet, and they're I have this inner ratchet in me, and Toya, speaks for me.
Speaks to my soul.
So this is so my parents are from the island, so my dad's Jamaican, my mom's Trinidadian. Oh. With that being said, Jamaicans have 10 jobs all the time. So when we moved from Maryland to West Palm, we bought a fixer-upper house, right? But in the hood. So my dad like fixed it up and made it like super nice, gave us like pavers and like nice grass and gave us all a fence and all, we got dogs. It was like, you know, but we lived in like a shitty neighborhood. So I would see Toyas all the time at a young age and I didn't understand it. You know, I would see these girls and I'm just like, man, you know, with the like how they act like, you know, and I'm just like, and I'm young, I'm maybe like 5 or 6 and I remember seeing these girls like that were Toya, you know, and then it wasn't until I got older where I was just like, it was there, like it never left. It's crazy, like the things that you take in at a young age, like you never know when when you can pull from it later on for it to serve you, you know. So subconsciously, again, I saw these girls and then I ended up turning something into it. And I didn't give her a name. I started calling her baby mama. So like I bought a wig. I bought a wig for her because I was buying wigs, you know, but not at that time. This was years later. But I bought a wig and I started doing like these little skits between like myself, like half me as a baby daddy and then half me as Toya. And then one day someone was like, you know, I want to use you for a short film. And I want you to be your Ratchet character. And then they're like, we should call her Toya. It's crazy because I know he's probably pissed off that like I kept the name.
It was my idea.
Right, I named her. I mean, yeah, he named her. I'm not gonna say who it is. And then I ended up finding like a nameplate that said Toya already, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And then we just went from there, and the birth of Toya has been on and popping ever since.
Man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And I love her because that's very true. We all know, you know, a Toya. I have a few in my family. I think I have one on the inside.
Oh yeah, me too.
So that's another thing I want to talk about. That does Toya ever come out in like Jazzy's like regular life?
Yeah, because there's certain things. Because it's like, even though my page, I talk a lot of shit on my page. Like there's certain things that I wouldn't say on my page that if Toya does it, it's acceptable because that's Toya's character, you know. But a lot of, I'm not gonna say all of them, but a lot of situations are mine. And I make Toya talk about it, you know. So a lot of them, you know, there's been a couple of times where I'm just like, I can't talk about it on my page, but because I'll sound crazy or I'll sound like a hoe or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, let me talk about it on Toya's page.
That's a nice little insight, a little tidbit of information.
Right.
So Toya speaks for Jasmin.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
right.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time. So from Toya to these amazing videos you do on your own page where you do these like short little rants and they're so hilarious.
Thank you.
I see you coming up and doing so much more, I honestly do. Well, there's this VH1 documentary, I'm not sure if you've seen it. They focus on Black female comics and how they're not really in the mainstream anymore, or hardly ever even
was
appreciated.
it with Tashina Arnold and
yes,
and Tiffany Haddish and
Lunel?
Lunel, that's her name.
It was called All Jokes Aside.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes,
I saw that.
And it immediately made me think of you.
Yeah.
It immediately made me think of you and how amazing you're doing, and how you're pushing the boundaries to go beyond social media and to get a bigger platform, as you so rightfully deserve.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts on how Black female comedians are, you know, treated and underrepresented in the media, and what do you think will help them get the recognition they deserve?
You know, I think that a lot of female Black comedians are discouraged because people, you know, they automatically put it in your head like, oh, it's hard to be Black, it's hard to be a Black comedian, and, you know, if you're this, and that, they want you too Black, they want you a little bit of Black, they want you to be, you know, and it can be a lot for someone to take in, and it's like, and if you don't love it enough to just go against all odds, you won't do it. You know, I never wanted to do comedy. I never said, hey, I'm gonna do comedy, but it fell into my lap with my rants because I've always been like opinionated, and I've always been the one to say how I feel. And then I started doing that, and then, you know, people started telling me, and the main thing that people tell me when they see me these days are, you know, you helped me get out of a relationship, you helped me be myself, and things like that. I feel like if you stick to being yourself and what you love and what, you know, what you believe in, then you will flourish. A lot of people just, and then there's not a lot, I don't want to say there's not anyone to look up to, but it's a different wave, you know. So it's like, you know, I have people that look up to me, and I'm not, you know what I mean, like I'm, you know,
you're jazzy. I mean, come on now.
Thank you. But, you know, the people that I was looking up to were men. We didn't really have females that really like set the tone for us, at least. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but at least for things that I'm doing, like there wasn't someone that I was like, you know what, you know, it was Martin, you know. So I'm happy that, you know, I'm in a position where I can show people, be yourself. because that's my message. Like if you see my videos, like half the time I don't have any makeup on, and it's not that I do that because I want people to see me with no makeup. It's just if it comes to me, I got to do it.
Yeah.
But it's also showing people like, hey, you don't have to be what people want you to be. You can be yourself. I'm gonna be on there. If I got a pimple, I'll talk about it. Like if I got if I got cramps and shit, I'm gonna talk about that. You know, and people are so afraid to really be themselves because they're afraid of being judged. I got past that a long time ago. You know what I mean? Because it's like if I think about, you know, all the ways I can be judged, I will kill myself. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna do that to myself. So my message, I know I always do that. I'm way off. But
no, you're right on.
But I feel like it's unfortunate that women don't take the chance because they feel like they're already being denied before they can even go out there. If everyone just stuck to their guns and believed in what they loved, they will flourish and be themselves. Yes. You know, that's the message.
Yes, young flourish, as you like to say.
Hey. Young flourish, yes.
So it almost came out a little bit.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I love it.